G'day fellow flight simmers and random YouTubers. Okay, here we are in Sydney. There we are. Okay, so today I'm going to do, as probably a lot of you guys know, I joined the dark side, went over to Jets. Now I'm on a mob called virtual airline called Skyteam Virtual. I don't even know if I'm actually streaming or not. I really don't know. I should know by now. I'm not sure if anyone's watching. Anyhow, here I am. I probably I should know by now. Okay, so I've submitted the flight plan. I've actually got a PDC clearance on Velocity 858. He's given me a PDC clearance. The only problem is he's given me what they call the Marib 7 departure, but I want one runway 34 left. Marib 7 departure is 34 right, and it's a hell of a long way to taxi. So I've asked for a clearance from runway 34 left. The flight plan is pretty basic. I mean, obviously you guys there it is, Wollongong, H65 Razzie, Q29 Lizzie, pretty standard, stock standard. Okay, and we have the Sydney approach online, Sydney ground and Sydney tower, and so it looks pretty good. And it's not a milk run Monday today either. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Okay, now first thing you've got to do when you with these things, oh, by the way, I'll go through the views. Control 1 gives you that view, Control 2 that, Control 3 that, Control 4 that, Control 5 that, Control 6 overhead, Control 7 the upper overhead, and Control 9 gives you the tablet. Okay, so I sort of like to start in Control 1 and then zoom out. The first thing you've got to do is establish power to these things. And then you've got this emergency exit arm. You've seen them on aircraft. You've got the emergency exits all armed. And then we've got to establish ground power. So there's ground services there. There's the ground power request. We get that going. Okay, and once it's connected, we can start getting things moving. Oh, geez, I'm getting old. Okay, so we go back to Control 1 again, zoom out, and there's the ground power. It's available, the blue light. And surprise, surprise, it all comes to light. The whole aircraft comes to life. Now we have established electrical power. Okay, and then there's a couple of checks you have to do. You've got to check that the gear's down and 3 greens. You've got to make sure the flaps are up, 0 there with no green light. Normally when the flaps engage, you've got a green light there. What we do is a fire test, so you make sure that those 2 orange light have not. Then you've got all these bells and whistles going off. That's the fire warning. Tells you, hey, you may have a problem on the aircraft. And these are the squibs. They're actual, and you make sure there's 3 of them. One, you've got 3 fire extinguishers basically. You can use 2 extinguishers for each engine, or you can use 1 for each engine, and then there's a fire extinguisher for the APU. So what you do, if there's a fire in one engine, you want to use both extinguishers, you pull this red handle up and you turn it left to fire off one extinguisher, and then you turn it right to fire another one. And then the APU has its own. So that's how that works. Now, you make sure that the manual gear extension is down. Now, I'm going to miss a few things, like, for example, you make sure the escape rope and all that, but it's a flight simulator. And make sure that your airspeed warning, and now you turn these, what they call IRS, Initial Reference System. That basically sets the aircraft position, or it's used as part of the satellite navigation. And later on you set the position, but it sets in motion the... Okay, so now that the both navs are aligned, you check, make sure all the lights are wonderful and working. It looks beautiful. Looks absolutely magnificent, like a Christmas tree. Okay, so all the lights are on, and then you test your oxygen, and that's all good. Okay, so we've done the pre-flight check. Now we've got to set up this little beauty, the old FMC, Control 3. So first of all, I like to actually enter the IRS position. So you see that box there, you go to the next page, you normally copy GPS left. So you copy that into the scratch pad down the bottom, you go and you set it in. Now, you go over to electronic flight bag, you press started because they've managed to put the EFB connect to SimBrief. So there we are, Velocity 858, we're going from Sydney to Melbourne, alternate Avalon, average wind 297 at 42. We're running, Virgin runs at a cost index of 9. So there we go, we've got that. Now, there's a few things I need to, or you need to write down rather than going back and forth. I normally have a pad. You normally need to know how much fuel. Block fuel, 5 point, you round it up to the nearest 100 and then add 100, so about 5.2. So block 5,200 kilos, that's in kilos by the way. Your reserve is about you round it up to about 1.6. Now I need my zero fuel weight because that's the payload. So you scroll down, zero fuel weight, 48.9. And today we'll be going at flight level 360. I think that's up here somewhere. There it is there. So we're at 360, and what we need is top of climb winds because that's normally what the average winds are. So there's TOC and there's your winds, 312 at 44. 312 at 44. Okay, so let's go back to the FMC. So we're going to YSSY and YMML. Velocity 868. Flight plan request, we get it from SimBrief. And we put in our fuel first, and we said it's I think 5,200. We go back, payload, zero fuel weight is 48.9. Done. now we go to, go to the route page. And we select the route, and that should bring our waypoints for Sydney to Melbourne, which is basically Wollongong, H65, Razzie, Q29, Lizzie. So let's hope they come in. Now notice up here it's 1 page of 2, so there's 2 pages here. Now we go to the next page and we'll make sure. Wollongong, H65, Razzie, Q29, Lizzie. Okay, so once we've done that, let's depart Sydney, runway 34 left. I will go Wollongong 2 departure. And departure arrival, I think ILS Lizzie 9 Alpha. Done. Now we don't activate, we need to check. So we go up here and we need to go to the plan mode. We basically need to just make sure we use a step. Okay, there's always a discontinuity. So and we'll delete the Wollongong NDB. And we'll go next page, Wollongong, previous page, bang. Let's see how that looks. Looks good, looks good. Razzie, Tanta, Rummy, Nabba, Bulla, Lizzie. That looks pretty good. Now Belter's 3,000 or above. What we'll do is make it a hard 3,000. Okay, so now to bring that back to activate, you've got to bring this back to map. And then you get the activate. So when you execute it, it should go magenta. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So what do we do now? We checked the routing, it looks good. Sorry, I forgot to do something. I forgot to do quite a lot. Okay, next page is init ref page, 92. We set the reserve fuel at 1.6 tonnes. Don't forget, 1,000 kilos is a tonne. The zero fuel weight is 48.9. We planned about 5.2. We're going at flight level 360 because we're flying west. Cruise winds 312.44. Now, I've looked at transition altitude in Australia is 10,000, but for some reason, I was listening to one guy on, you put it like 1 foot above, and something to do with that's him. Okay, we're going to go on what they call a D-rate. We're going to D-rate the engine so they don't go full bore. So we'll do takeoff 1 D-rate. Now we've got to work a temperature out here, so we go over to the electronic flight plan and we go to the performance tool, even though it's not a really good one. We'll go 3-4 left and we're going to go flaps 5 take off 1, import the weights, import the weather, 360, so yep, QNH 10. So we calculate the trim is 5.3, temperature is 52, so we'll go select the temperature is 52, so that will derate this. So once I put that in there, you watch this go down. There we go. So it's 87% thrust. Take off is flaps 5. This, you just have to double click this and click it again. And then V1, V2, rotate. VR is rotate speed, and that's your V2. In other words, after that speed, you can't go. You've got to continue your flight. You can't stop. In other words, before your VR, which is your rotate, you can, if anything goes wrong, you can stop. But after V2, you've got to keep going. Okay, so the first thing we do, we set the trim on the trim wheel, and we set V2 on the MCP. So 128, I think it was. And 5.3 on the old. I've got an electronic trim wheel here, so it doesn't have to be exact. Can be a bit sort of, that'll do. Like I said, doesn't have to be exact. And I didn't even know there's not a milk run, I don't think. Bok Boy, how you going, by the way? Yeah. The thing is, it's only 250 over in West Australia. So what is it, 550 over there? Yeah, so I want to get out of here before the madness begins, if there is. But I looked on the VatPack site, and I didn't see that there was a milk run Monday. But hey, I could be totally wrong. Okay, so I've lost my place. What are we doing? Takeoff. So we've done the takeoff. We've done, so the captain always has the legs page. Reason being is, of course, is normally what happens is sometimes the air traffic controller gives track shortening. So, and he may give me track shortening direct to Wollongong. So you need the legs page. And so, yeah, if he gives me track shortening to Wollongong, I just press that line select key. It gets it in here, and then I put it up to the top. And that's how easy it is to get track shortening or to initiate. All right, so now we do an overhead flow, what they call an overhead flow. Yaw damper. Now yaw damper, I don't want to go too far into, otherwise we'll be here till, Christmas if I start explaining everything. But basically the yaw damper tells you, it produces coordinated flight. If you're in your Cessna 172, you have to do, you don't have to do any rudder inputs to get coordinated flight. And I'll show you that, you don't, as you turn, you don't have to put left or right rudder in. It just does it for you. Okay, now, just checking the fuel, 5.2. So you don't need the center fuel tanks because there's no fuel tank, so you can get the fuel pumps going. What am I doing? Okay, all this is normal. You don't have to touch any of this. All the gens, well, nothing started yet, so you don't initiate any gens. You put the seatbelt sign on, assuming they're boarding. You put the window heat on. You don't put the probe heat, just to prevent, especially in the stinking heat, you don't want these to overheat. These are basically just so your probes which are responsible indicating your speed. It's the equivalent of the pitot tube in a Cessna 172. That's basically what a pro bead is. I think ram air goes through and you get your airspeed from it. That's a sort of rough and ready sort of explanation. You put your there's 3 hydraulic systems. There's the engine-driven ones and the electrical. So there's A and B, so there's 3 hydraulic systems all up. Don't worry about any of that. The 737's got a terrible air conditioning system. It's like 40 odd degrees inside, so now the packs is basically the air conditioning. You put those onto auto, you leave the engine bleeds on, and because we haven't put the APU on, you leave that off. This is the pressurization system. So we're going to be cruising at 36,000. And Melbourne, and I know that because I've controlled it that many times. Airport elevation 434, so you just round up that up. That's got to be on auto, never touch that. Position light, you just leave that. Engine start, we'll worry about that. Now we can just chuck the APU on, and we'll wait for this blue light over here. Okay, we've got the APU the blue light on, so we initiate APU bleed air, and that'll get the engine started, provide enough air pressure for the engines to start, because that's what the whole idea of it is, I think. Okay, so we've got that. Now we just set up what they call the mode control panel, which is this panel here. We're going to go up to probably 5,000 because I've got Sydney Approach, I think, is online. Yep, Sydney Approach is online. So runway heading 34 left is 335. Okay. And we don't really worry about the course. Sorry, excuse me. I just got a message on my phone, and Okay, sorry about that, guys. Well, when I say guys, I'm not even. Okay, so we've got the MCP or the mode control panel all set up. Now, we've got the altitude 5,000. We initiate the flight directors, they come on. Make sure you also, this is the MA is the master, so, and now, this is the EFIS, which is the electronic flight instrument system with the barrow, so we can have a look here. And Sydney Barrow is 1008 at the moment, but we'll listen to the ATIS as well, just to confirm it. So we'll just put in the Barrow down there, 1008. And roughly that should equate, that altitude should equate to the altitude at Sydney. Okay, so that's that. And also, I think that's about it, but I think there's something, I remember once, I'm not sure now. Okay, so we set that in, we set the auto brake to reject the takeoff. So just in case we check the takeoff, we have the auto brake in play. Now we check the systems, make sure that hydraulic pressures, okay, now I'm not sure what stage. I think if you get an R, it says a refill or something, so that's still okay, but just check the elevators, check the ailerons, left, rudder, ailerons, left, right, it's all good. So that looks okay. And we set it back to engine because we want to know, the reason we do that, we want to look at this figure here when we start the engines. Okay, so we'd set the parking brake and speed brake, make sure that's down in detent. Now we do a config check, and what we do, we advance the thrust levers or advance the throttles, and we want to hear warnings horn. That's what we want to hear, because it tells us that we do have a warning system should we not be configured for our flight before takeoff. So we want to hear that. Now, when we're ready to take off, we don't want to hear that noise. So, okay, radios. Now let's see. We'll bring over this V-Pilot. We've got V-Pilot. We've got Sydney Tower, Sydney Ground 126.5. 126.5.
Climate 2104 Sydney Ground, taxi via Lima, hold short Charlie. Taxi Lima, hold short Charlie, climate 2104.
And we're also going to put in tower 120.5. Okay, so that's that done. Tread spotter, we'll get that from when we get our clearance. Oh, by the way, he gave us a PD, so I wonder if that still stays. Squawk code is 4304, I think, so we'll just put that in there. So 4304.
2104, second right, turn on to Bravo, hold short Bravo 8. can turn onto Bravo. Hold short Bravo 8. Code is 2104.
Okay. What bay are we at? 40, I think. Bay 40. Or 41, one of the two. I think we're at 40 or 44, sorry. Okay, I think we've just asked for clearance and then we can start the engine or pushback. Sydney ground, g'day, velocity 868, request clearance to Melbourne. I think it works.
Velocity 858. Sydney ground. Good afternoon. Your clearance to Melbourne remains the same as per the PDC. You're re-cleared runway 34 left, Wollongong to departure.
Re-cleared to via the Wollongong to departure and obviously keeping the same squawk.
PDC is the same, it's just the departure and the runway.
Velocity 858, thanks.
Velocity 858. And Sydney ground, air colour 140, thank you for the ATC. Air colour 140, yeah.
That was easy. Too easy, Camp Easy. All right, I'll be joining the flight soon. Peter, FedEx 123. Have a great flight. Hey, Chris, how you going, mate? Thank you for all your help. Aviation Chris, I've got to acknowledge you've been a great help in me jumping over to the...
58, stand 42 or 44?
Sorry, sir, 44, I think I am.
Velocity 858, thanks.
Okay, transponder alt off on the ground.
2104 holding Bravo 8. Qantas 2104, roger. I'll get you to hold at Bravo 8. Got one landing 34 left, expected feedback.
Okay. All right.
I'll hold at Bravo 8, Qantas 2104.
Aviation Chris is the one that taught me how to do an RNAV approach after much frustration and anxiety and all that. I've got no reason why, but yeah, and then the penny dropped, and yeah, so now RNAV approaches, I'm doing blindfolded now. All right, now let's get this show on the road. So we've done, we do safety inspection. Yeah. You're supposed to do a safety inspection checklist, but, you know, you just have to worry about the surfaces and the chocks are checked. Yeah, they're removed.
Qantas 2104, did you have a domestic stand that you need? So was that for 2104? Yeah, what stand were you after?
I'll get him off the road. Then I'll come back to him. Yeah, so do this before start. We put the gens on to the APU. The parking brake is set, and it is. Ground power is removed. So control 3, and we get menu, menu, FS actions, ground services. We release them. Go to the next page, release the stairs, and remove the chocks. So now, if I was to look over here, we should see this guy slowly move away. There we go. Well, sort of slowly. Holy crap. That was rather reckless. Anyhow, we're flight simming. APU bleed is on. Now we do a before start checklist. The IRS mode. Now, obviously in the real world, you've got two people. You've got the captain reads it out. The other guy does the check. So he'll say IRS mode selectors. The guy, the first officer say nav, gear pins, and he'll say 1, 2, 3 remove, light test checked, oxygen tested 100%. Oh, sorry, it's the other way around. It's the first officer will get his checklist out, and it's the captain will say, yep, oxygen tested, yaw damper on, nav switches or nav transfer and display switches normal and auto, fuel 5.2 required, 5.2 on board, pumps on. So that's the sort of way you do it. Cabin utilities or emergency exit lights are armed, fasten seatbelts on, window heat on, air conditioning and pressure packs on, or no, sorry, packs are auto. There's the packs there, they're auto, bleeds on and set. Pressurisation mode, actually I can show it better this way. Pressurisation mode is auto, that dial there. Instruments are cross-checked. RT auto brake is RTO. Hydraulics are normal. And parking brake is set. Speed brake is down in detent. Stabiliser trims are normal. Radios set and standby. You know that. FMC CDU is set. N1 and indicated airspeeds are auto and set. Stabiliser trim is set. 5.33 I think set. Okay, now this is where we start, but I better get my clearance to push and start, otherwise some person will be very angry.
Taxi via Bravo Charlie 1 to stand 6, 2104, thanks.
Now I've got to make sure 3-4 left. I think we're going nose left. Okay. Gee, that's loud. Okay, so I take it this is the way this is just something I got from, you can use GSX, but this is something I got from flightsim.io or something I think it's called. It's a handy little tool. Just what have I gone? Velocity 858, isn't it? Okay. Sydney ground velocity 858, request push and start.
Velocity 858, domestic 44, push approved.
Push approved, velocity 858. All right, so before we start, we've got to put the packs off. Now, I'm not sure 100% why. I know I could find out, but we put the anti-collision light on, which is the beacon light, to tell people on the ground we're about to start the engines. So now you always start number 2, which is the one on the right. Maybe I should start that.
Melbourne, velocity 621, requesting clearance to camera.
Brakes are set. You may lift. Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
It's actually,
Velocity 621, Sydney ground, good day. Good Canberra,
We are clear.
via Peg Sud plan route. Runway 34 left, Sydney 3 departure.
Please release.
On view Sid.
now,
Brakes are released.
that's
Push back. You can start the engine in sequence.
PM,
Start in the sequence.
PMDG have put like in the real world, you depress to release the parking brake, you put your brakes on. All right. So what we're looking is we start number 2 first. We should see this N2, which is basically the jet engine is it's just a mixture of high compression compressors, and N2 is your high pressure, I think, indication. So that's what N2. You wait till this gets over 25, and we inject the fuel, and we wait till it stabilises. And when it stabilises, the lights will go, or these basically lights will go out. I remember reading about how this start valve opens and then closes, so once it's stabilised, the start valve will close. But if I was here to sit here to explain everything about the 737, like I said, we'll be here till... Okay, so that's... Now we can start number 1. Actually, I don't think I should have... Oh yeah, I'm on the right taxiway. Oh shit, I stuffed up.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Oh no.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Actually, they've... Have a look at that. See that? They've initiated that. Or they've modelled that.
Roger. Good engine start. Clear to disconnect.
Of course, it's a good engine start.
Thank you and goodbye.
All right, so I shouldn't have put the air conditioning packs off before, but anyhow. Okay, now once the engines are on, you can put the generators onto the engine.
36, take right on Bravo 2, contact ground 126, decimal 5, good day.
And
Right on Bravo 2, ground 126, decimal 5, good day, class 436.
And because the engines are now going, you don't need the APU. By the way, that means auxiliary power unit. So, okay, so now because the engines have started, we now reconfigure all this. So the start switches are both continuous, just in case your engine flame out. We've got now the Pro Beats, that's when you turn them on. Engine anti-icy, you don't require it because it's nice, and the packs are now auto. APU bleed, because we turned it off, we don't need there's no more bleed air because the thing's turned off. So everything has a reason. Like, it's not, things are done because there's a logical sequence to it. That's how I sort of remember. I try to understand how the system works, and then you go, oh, of course, well, then because that's not happening, then you don't need that, so you do that. And that's how I sort of learnt. Isolation valve is auto, and the flaps need to be set. Normally set flaps 5. Just check that it is. Yep, flaps are 5. Stabilizer trim, start levers, idle detent, which they are. They're up here. Flight controls, just make sure they're okay. Yep, they're good. You do a recall check. and you press the, you don't want to see anything down on the lower display here. Okay, so before taxi checklist, the gens are on, APU is off, start switch is continuous, anti-ice not required, air conditioning packs are auto, bleeds are on, isolation valve is auto, flaps 5 required, 5 is selected, there it is, and green light, that's good. Stabilizer trim, 5.3, start levers, flight controls checked, and recall is checked. Now, remember how I said, okay, we're ready to taxi. So, better give this guy. Sydney ground velocity 858, request taxi.
Velocity 858, taxi via Golf, Charlie, cross runway 25, hold short, Bravo 10.
Taxi via Golf Charlie, cross 25, hold short, Bravo 10, velocity 858.
Velocity 811, please to Melbourne via Road 7 flight plan route, flying via 6 to 5000, squawk 4477, bay number 49.
Velocity 811.
Bravo 10. Okay, so we cross there, cross Bravo there. Bravo 10, I think. Okay, so hopefully that's the way. I should have my charts out, but anyhow. Okay, we put taxi lights on. Taxi. Now remember when I did a
I was watching IFR clearance as filed to Melbourne.
Just 389, unable to provide.
Okay, now we release the handbrake, parking brakes, and we do config check, and we don't want to hear any warning horns. So release that, let's hope. Geez, no warning horns. So that's a big plus. All right. So we've been cleared.
Sydney Tower, velocity 512, 34 right. Velocity 512, Sydney target air runway 34 right, clear to land. 3605 and direct cargo day 5, UPS 34. UPS 34 Sydney ground, just back, cargo gate, back, cargo gate again. Cargo 85, UPS 34. UPS 34.
Well, let's just hope it all turns out.
Sydney ground, FedEx 123 is requesting clearance to Canberra.
Don't forget.
123 Sydney ground, hello. Are you parked at the cargo apron?
Yes, cargo apron, bay 3, FedEx 123.
FedEx 123, thanks. Just wanted to confirm that with you. You can expect the PDG standby.
Okay.
There's the runway. So taxi down there. We've been cleared to cross. So that tells you those flashing lights. Been cleared to cross. Try to keep centre line. Try to keep on the we really should always check, make sure that, okay. And he said Bravo 10, and my wife's looking on with admirable. She gave me a note. Okay. Oh, shit. Sorry, that was the missus. I blame the missus for that. She's
Lost the 858, hold position.
whole position 858. Didn't he say?
Lost the 858. I believe you'll find that's Bravo. Continue straight ahead on Bravo. Take Bravo 7 across to Charlie, and then continue Charlie, hold short, Bravo 10.
I'll continue on Bravo onto Charlie, and I'll hold short of 10, velocity 858. And I have
FedEx 123 ready for PDC.
serves me right.
FedEx 123, Sydney ground, standby.
Well, I knew.
Velocity 621, information is ready for taxi.
Velocity 621, thanks, taxi domestic 2, Charlie, hold short, runway 25.
262, Charlie, hold short 25, D16.
I should know better.
Jet 709, Sydney ground.
Didn't he say?
FedEx 123, Sydney ground, go.
Yes, FedEx 123 cleared Canberra, Wollongong to departure, squawk 3716 and cargo bay 3, FedEx 123.
FedEx 123.
I thought maybe he said Golf Charlie cross 25 Bravo 10. Well, there's Bravo 10 there. Golf. Oh, okay, so instead of going, I should have taken Charlie. Well, why didn't he just send me on Golf? Golf Bravo. Why Charlie? I don't know. Anyhow. Just doesn't seem logical. Or maybe that's arrivals. Maybe I haven't read the actual aerodrome procedures. So maybe that's what it is. Okay, I think I've worked it out.
Velocity 621, continue Charlie, cross runway 25, hold short, Bravo 10.
Don't forget.
Cross runway 25 on Charlie and hold short Bravo 10. Velocity 621.
Velocity 858, take your second right turn onto Lima, hold short, runway 34 left.
Second right turn. What does that mean? Just say again, sir. Second right turn. No, I only have a right turn.
You should have two taxiways, Nick. Right at the end.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay. Cheers.
The ground velocity 512, vacated 24 right, time uniform 1.
Well, don't I look like a complete cock?
Velocity 858, cross runway 34 left at Lima, then left turn onto Alpha to Alpha 6, holding point, runway 34 left.
Left turn, Alpha 6, holding point 34 left. Cheers.
Velocity 512, Sydney ground, taxi via Lima, hold short Charlie.
Lima, hold short Charlie, velocity 512.
I'm glad he's on the ball.
Sydney ground, FedEx 123.
123, cargo 3, push approved.
Cargo Bay 3, push approved, FedEx 123.
Sydney ground jet Star 389 received PDC. Departure is Maroon 7 via Wollongong squawk 4764, gate 35.
Maybe I should have taken...
389, confirm squawk 4767.
4767.
Maybe I should have taken 3-4 right.
Jetstar 389.
Sydney ground, good evening. Velocity 179, PDC readback.
Velocity 179, Sydney ground, good evening.
Ground velocity 179 is for the Marriott 7, squawking 4247 and domestic 56.
HD, Perth Aviation, high definition. How you going, mate? Definitely write that one down. If you fail to plan, you plan. I wonder where you got that saying from. If you fail to plan...
531, PDC readback.
I'm con...
531, Sydney ground, standby.
Captain...
3621.
Oh, shit.
First right onto Bravo 10, holding point runway 34 left.
Bravo 10 and hold short 34 left. Class C620.
Velocity 512, give way to the company ATR. He's going for Bravo 10, 34 left. Once clear, taxi via Lima, Bravo, hold short Bravo 8.
Anyhow,
Okay, clear the ATR, taxi Lima, Bravo, hold short Bravo 8, velocity 512.
I'm sure I can do something about this volume. It's...
531, Sydney ground, go.
Marriott 7 departure Wollongong transition squawk 6046 and by domestic 54, Jetstar 531.
Jetstar 531. Velocity 858, Sydney Tower 120.5 today.
120.5, g'day, cheers.
Velocity 621, Sydney Tower 120.5 today.
120.5, velocity 621.
Now, we better put in the approach before we... I should have done that before, Sydney 124.4. Benjamin Franklin, yeah, I know. Wonder where you learnt that from. One can only guess. And as Benjamin Franklin said, if you plan to fail, or if you fail to plan... Okay, 124.4, let's get that cracking. I'll put on me lights. That should be off, but anyhow, we'll... And strobes. We want to be visible. And auto throttle, we arm that.
Sydney Tower, velocity 621 is holding short of runway 34 left at Bravo Tango left.
The 621 thanks for fun, left heading 230 degrees, runway 34 left, clear for takeoff.
Heading 230, runway 34 left, clear for takeoff. And velocity 620.
Now, auto throttle arm, LNAV TARA, and that's down here, TARA. All right, we're ready to go. Melbourne Tower, g'day, velocity 858 is ready.
Velocity 858, Sydney Tower, line up runway 34 left.
Line up and wait, runway 34 left, velocity 858. Okay, let's hope it all goes well. All right. Actually, this scenery, I like the skid marks on the ground there.
621, connect departures, good day. Departures, velocity 621.
All right, so we're ready. Transponder TRA before takeoff checklist. We got MCP is set, transponder TRA, strobe lights are on, landing lights are on. Let's go. Now, clear for takeoff, runway 34 left, velocity 858, thanks. Get up to 40. Forward pressure on the yoke. Toga. And let's see how it all goes. Release the back pressure. Rotate. Positive rate. Bug up. Going over to departures. Thanks for the ATC. Cheers, Velocity 858. Shit. Velocity 8. Ah, no, Sydney approach 124.4. I should have had that in. Sydney approach, good day, velocity 858, passing 2,100 on climb to 5.
Velocity 858, departures, good day, identified, climb over speed flight level 280.
By the SID 280, velocity 858, thanks.
Velocity 621, position 26 miles to the northeast of Peksu, resume navigation direct to Peksu, plan route. Direct Peksu, plan route, navigation, velocity 6. Exit Papa 7, turn left heading 060 degrees, clear visual approach 34 left.
It's not Milk Run Sunday, but not Milk Run Monday, but what the hell? Anyhow, we're up in the air. Now we've got to take, turn off that, turn off RTO. Looks like crap weather. I don't know what it was like in Sydney today. It's a pity they don't, PMDG haven't got the weather. Anyhow, I'm not sure if I've... Did someone turn the lights out or something? I think we need a bit of light. Turn on the lights, please. All right. You know when you've done something and you think, have I forgotten something? Okay, let's tell you the after takeoff checklist. Pressurization is checked. Start switches are off. Gear up and off. Oh, shit. No, I'm not. Oh, dear. Shouldn't have had that. Yeah, like I said, you know you get a feeling like you've forgotten something? What a goose. Water breakers off. The altimeters check. After takeoff checklist is complete. Will he give me direct Wollongong? He might do. Anyhow, I don't profess to be a pilot, and many would say, yes, you are a pilot's a-hole, but hey, it is what it is. That looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? There's Sydney there. Well, hang on, no. That's actually Bankstown, I think. That's Bankstown. Okay, let's... I've gone past 10,000, so you print it. Passing 10,000, you hit the standard button here, a standard Q&H.
FedEx 123 passing 4,200.
FedEx 123 departures get over, flight combo SID flight level 280.
Climb by SID, flight level 280, FedEx 123.
Anyhow, landing lights off, cabin crew release, ding cabin. Yes, ding the cabin. There we go. Where's the ding the cabin? Auto. I don't, did you understand any of that? What the taxi instructions? If it was no, it didn't. I'm using Orbix scenery for Sydney, and I've got Orbix Melbourne, and that's just basically it, really. This is default weather. So, yep, I turned off the landing lights, taxi lights, ding the cabin. I think now it's just a boring climb. Now this is the part I really don't like. Yeah, actually they look actually quite realistic. Now, here's something. I think I mentioned this before. If let's say for the air traffic... If the air traffic controller said cancel speed, you just basically press the delete button and get rid of that speed restriction. And that restricts, that's how, if anybody's, I think that's how it's done. So, yeah, whenever you, I'll just increase the, and there's another thing too, always have your heading bug lined up here. That's the other thing I didn't do. Like I said, still coming to terms with all this, but so, and the reason why you always have this heading bug aligned, just in case the air traffic controller gives you 129.8. Cheers, thanks for the OTC. Almost as good as pushing 10. I had to put that one in there. I had to put that in there, guys. Come on. Give me a break. 129.8. Oops.
250 via Lizzie 9 and taking altitude. Level 210.
Oh, don't tell me. That's a shocker. What the hell is...
133, decent 5-star, 9000, QNH 1011.
Okay, so always don't... That's a shocking radio.
Nippon 2510, don't have a flight plan for you, yeah, but disconnect, reconnect and refile.
Copy that, I'll try refiling and disconnecting. Thanks.
Do you like that sound?
357 centigrade.
Melbourne Centre, g'day, velocity 858 on climb to flight level 280.
58 centigrade, climb flight level 360.
Flight level 360, velocity 858.
Melbourne Centre, g'day, just nice of next flight level 370.
That guy that just transmitted, that's Russell Deal, DIE. He's probably got more flight hours than anyone on...
78 centigrade.
He's got more VATSIM hours up than any person flying in Australia.
Melbourne Centre, good evening. This is ANA 2.
He was flying when I first started, and he'd had about 2,000 hours or something when I first, and that was 10 years ago or more. So, yeah, Russell's an old hand. When you hear him on the radio, well, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so now, flight level 300, there's the bank angle.
One upon 2510, got you now. Stop climb flight level 160.
I've got the honeycomb, and I'm using the autopilot thing on the honeycomb rather than using these dials here. I find it a lot easier using the honeycomb. I mean, that's what it's there for. So, okay, so it looks like there's my top of climb.
Melbourne Centre, velocity 621, flight level 140.
Melbourne Centre, FedEx 133, passing flight level 260.
Okay, now this is, what do we got? We can extend the range a bit to about 80 miles. That's good. And as you get closer into...
23 centigrade. Just confirm final cruising level flight level 280.
Yes. Final flight level 280.
And I'll tell you what, I think I've hit the 9 people watching or were watching. I think that's a record for me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Helps with the alimony payments. Yeah, no, I'm only joking, by the way. Anyhow, the missus, I'll tell you how good. She's bought me a nice cold drink.
Jetstar 978, flight clearance available.
All right, now, what do I want to tell you? I
78 cleared, River 3 arrival, runway 34 left, maintain flight level 370.
can I mute this somehow?
River 3 arrival, runway 34 left, maintain 370, just 978.
Can I mute this?
Melbourne Centre, corner 745. Now busy maintaining, resuming normal speed.
See that? Now, hey, whoever's watching my video, see that little kid? Yeah, see? He thinks he's the only guy that's on the network. Hey, Glenn, how you going, mate?
Melbourne Centre, corner 745. Now busy, resuming correspondence speed.
380 clear to lift controlled area descending.
See, velocity 740, who is it? 745.
Sorry, Senator, if that was for flight like 380, I missed the first half of it because it got stomped on.
Flight 380 clear to lift controlled area descending. No report of outside traffic over.
I'm back up to 9. Now, where's this little pipsqueak?
Clear descending, and we'll no IFR traffic wall green. I think you mentioned I'll cancel silent on the ground.
Corner 745, connect approach 132.0.
Now, I've got to tell you a story.
3.0, corner 745, thanks.
Yeah, see ya.
75, connect
pips.
decimal 8 expect start.
Anyhow,
Yeah, 75 Fennec Day, Cyclone enters the correction Rivet 3 arrival, runway 34 left.
now,
Descend followable 250.
this is going to drive me nuts listening to this all the time. Anyhow, I've got to tell you a story.
78 current Mach speed.
I'm going to change this. 1, 2. Okay, I've got it. I've got to tell you a story. I'm top of climb. He won't call me. The other day, me and the missus, we walked into a bank. All right. By the way, as you now, I don't do this, but hey, it's a simulator. But really, what you should do, as you within 2,000 feet of your cruise level, you should use your vertical speed, and you go 2,000 feet a minute. And then within 1,000 feet of your cruise, you adjust your vertical speed to 1,000, so you don't overshoot. I think that was the reason. I can't remember. I think that was the reason why you do it, but I don't. I choose not to because I'm inherently lazy. Not really, but I've got to tell you a story. So anyhow, we go to the bank, me and the missus. That's the 1,000, by the way, that noise is 1,000 feet to go. So anyhow, we go to the bank, and we're waiting there, and suddenly these guys come in with these masks, with balaclavas over their head. And they tell everyone to hit the ground. And I was basically shitting myself. And anyhow, during the confusion, the mayhem, and people scream, one of the masks falls off the guys. And anyhow, looks down on the ground at the guy. He said, "Did you see my face?" The guy said, "Yes." Bang, shot him. The guy looked at the other guy and said, "Did you see my face?" And the guy said, "Yes." Bang, shot him. And I'm just absolutely mortified. I can't believe this is happening. So anyhow, he looked at me and said, "Did you see my face?" And I went, "I'll tell you what." I said, "No way, mate. No way did I see your face. But I'll tell you what, I think my wife did." Boom, boom. Sorry, I had to get that one in. That's an old one, but a good one. G'day, whatever. Okay, we're at the boring stage. Now, cruise levels, not much to go. Normally, top of descent, I normally get ready for about, we've got a while to go, but yeah, I normally get ready about 60 miles. Now, let me have a look first. Yeah, I know, it's an old one, but a good one. What a stream. Listen, I might be the most shithouse pilot online, but I'll tell you what, I'll probably tell the best jokes. Well, I think I do anyhow. Like the teacher, she was telling this bunch of 6th graders. By the way, and I want you to be honest, anyone under 15 watching my stream, by the way, at the moment, I want you to be honest. Say yes, no. I hope she's okay. Well, she'll live. And if she lives through that, I'll tell you what, she won't get through the mushrooms. Oh, good on you, Glenn. Is that the one, the 5 VATSIM must stay? Yeah. Is that the one, the 5 VATSIM? Yeah, I mean, we just actually saw one of my, a glaring example. I just tried to get VATSIS up. Qantas 745, this kid, and he was just blasting away, not listening to the radio, not waiting for any readbacks, just blasting away, and just clogged up the network. And then the poor controller had to say, "Sorry, you were stepped on," had to repeat, they're just not listening, that's all. Is it? Melbourne weather's crap. Well, what's new? Hang on, I'm having a look at the ATIS Melbourne METAR. Let's have a look. Wind 22014. Visibility 5,000. Drizzle. Broken 300. QNH 1011. Yuck. What's happening over there? Aviation Chris can tell you live in Melbourne. Holy jeez, I think 11 viewers now. Mate, I'll tell you what, I don't play the bugle, and like one particular streamer, we know who that is, but the jokes are all right. Troy's, yeah, I know somebody said that before. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Anyhow, I've got to tell you, this teacher's teaching her sixth graders, and she asked a question. She said, look, what human organ, once it gets stimulated, grows to 10 times its normal size? And little Mary puts up her hand and she says, Miss, she says, I don't think you should be telling that joke to a mob of sixth graders. So the teacher ignored her. She asked the question again. 13 viewers. And anyhow, she asked the question again. And little Mary puts up her hand again. She said, Miss, she said, if you ask that question, you can get into big trouble. I'll tell my mummy and she'll tell the headmaster, you get into big trouble asking a question like that. So the teacher ignored her again. So she asked the question again. And little Johnny puts up his hand. And she said, yes, Johnny, what organ, when stimulated, grows to 10 times its normal size? And little Johnny's really nervous and looks around and he says, the pupil. And she said, that's very good, Johnny. So the teacher turns to Mary and she says, Mary, I've got 3 things to say to you. 1, you've got a dirty mind. 2, you didn't read your homework. And 3, when you grow up, you're going to be very, very disappointed. Boom, boom. I heard that the other day. I told the missus. I think she's still laughing. Unless you're married to me. That's the... like I said, I hope there's no one under 15. Oh, geez, I nearly choked then. So anyhow, that's what you get. You don't get the bugle, but you get the jokes. And the I just got to show you something. No, I can't. Doesn't matter. Okay, so a long way to go. Where are we actually in the grand scheme of things? Velocity 858 is there. There you go. So who's got Eldon Weir? Dylan Grenfield on 123.75. Okay. What was it? 123.75. Okay, let's get ready for that. He's going to...
380 Seneca Day, climb flight level 360.
Flight level 360, cheers.
Velocity 357 to sequencing, maintain 240, correction 250 knots.
123.75. So 129, and once again.
357, descend flight level 130.
So there we are. So that's where I am, and I'm about to cross over to
53 for sequencing, maintain max speed till Lizzie.
Oh shit! If he tells me to do that, what do I do?
Max speed till Lizzie. 453. On upon 2510, contact me now.
'Cause
1.9.
anyhow, don't forget your radio. Yes, I know.
Say that again. Almost on 25.
Yeah, they probably will. Well,
On upon 2510, contact me now. 1.29.
yeah.
129.8. Almost on 25.
Now, there's a thing which I saw the other day.
250 on the descent, corner 478.
Delta 1014, can I just confirm what waypoint you're tracking to?
RFMC messed up, so we're tracking to Rivet, that's 1014.
Okay, let's have it. Yeah.
UPS
34, Senegal, contact level 2, correction.
I think that's what you.
Up to 360 UPS 34.
I'm in Melbourne.
23, descend by star 7000, connect 1007, runway 135.
I think that's what you meant, Mr. Mickey. Mr. Mickey, don't forget your radio. And I think that's what you mean.
21, descend 7000, when ready by star.
Now, what was the other thing I wanted to? I'm in Melbourne, so I'll see you flight.
Approach 124.4 here.
Mate, Troy, I'm getting low on the chai, mate.
78, descend by star 10,000, connect 10.
I tell you, it's short supply. We've looked everywhere for the chai, and I can't find it anywhere, mate.
462, descend by star 10,000, connect
So
1007.
I'm stressing out big time.
7 and Xander 10,000, Qantas 462.
Now,
Sequencing 10 left, heading 360.
Left 360, Qantas 478.
Melbourne Centre, this is ANA 2510. Did you receive my contact earlier?
okay, let's.
Can I just confirm what waypoint you're tracking to? You're showing you're deviating off route quite a lot, which is...
Let's have a look. What I never knew it was Milk Run Monday.
I'm trying to go directly to Waypoint Cullen right now.
Melbourne ATIS, expect GLS, da-da-da.
2510, understood. Star clearance is the River 3 arrival, runway 34 left, maintain flight level 310.
Okay, 210.
Arrival, runway 34 left. Could you please repeat the rest of that for me?
X-ray.
Maintain flight level 310.
And he'll be throwing me over in a minute.
310 on the phone at 2510.
Okay.
Just 78, contact approach 124.4 here.
Landing flaps 30, PAX. Import.
498, descend 10,000, connect 1007.
Descent 10,000, QNH 100.
I can start doing.
621 requesting descent and hoping to make camper 6 out.
Velocity 621, descend by star 7000.
Star 7000, that's what's confirmed.
FedEx 123, descend by star 5500, runway 35, clear to LS approach.
Okay.
Send by star 5,500 and clear the ILS runway 35, FedEx 135.
We go.
23 to control workload, control notifications, 783, crew, ability to call 122.9.
Jesus, people don't listen to the radio. What's going on? Do you understand any of that? Which,
Sorry about that, Qantas 437, missing flight level 2804350.
tell you what, night circuits in real life kicked my ass hard the other night. Felt like I was flying the plane for the first time. Oh,
37, what's your present position?
yeah, Mr. Mickey, no, she does.
Nautical miles from Iran, Qantas 437.
She does provide in-flight service. She's very good in that respect.
At flight level 290. Qantas 437, gotcha, standby.
When you say, what part, Perth Aviation, did you understand any? The ATC? Because I do understand the ATC, but...
Qantas 498, need you to reduce to your minimum approach speed.
I'll put traffic on, actually. There you go. Let's see what the traffic's like.
Reducing to minimum approach speed.
So,
230 knots. FM. Roger. Qantas 478, thanks for your help. Briefly direct Tarot.
Direct to Tarrell, Qantas 478.
Now I've got the ILS. At Belter, I've got hard 3,000. Normally had 3,000A, which is
350. Any chance we get 380 Qantas 437? Qantas 437 climb level 380.
I have no idea where we.
Qantas 437 cleared 380. On a climb 2510, 10 left heading 350.
Yeah, the ATC, I do understand Perth Aviation. I've been basically ATC for many, many, many years on VATSIM.
Station calling Tennessee again.
So that is probably the only thing.
357, decent by star 9000, QNH 10, correction 1011. Qantas 453, connect approach 132.0. Contact approach for Qantas 453.
Bell Centre, Ansett 828, g'day. We've commenced our descent, passing through flight level 330, expecting the Ribbit 3 arrival into Sydney.
So looks like Dylan is on.
28, g'day, squawk 1514.
Squawk 1514, Ansett 828.
Qantas 462 and Qantas 498 in turn, contact approach 124.4 here. 124.4, Qantas 462. Contact 1244, Qantas 498.
No, I don't have a Discord.
And
And I
did you clear it to go low or it was too far?
I probably don't. The only reason is I don't know how to set one up. How do I?
10,001 UNH 1007. That's 1014. No issues.
That's Russell.
Velocity 842, standby break, all correction Ansett 828, stop descent, flight level.
Oh, there we go. We got an aircraft.
Stop descent, flight level 280, Ansett 828.
Qantas 878, descent via star 10,000, QNH 1007.
Let's have a look. Who is he?
That's for Qantas 478, not 878. 478, that's my apologies. Copy 10,000, QNH 1007, Qantas 478.
Oh, by the way, if you don't progress, next page. So just in case, that tells you we've got a 26 knot headwind. So even though our airspeed is 439 through the air, but because we've got a headwind, it reduces our ground speed down to 413 because we've got this 20. And we've got a 34 knot crosswind.
Turn right, heading 150, Ansett 828.
And Ansett 828, you can expect the Ribbit 3.
Ah, you know what I forgot to do.
Expect the Ribbit 3, runway 34 left, Ansett 828.
Velocity 842, apologies for the delay, climb flight level 360.
I should have got me winds. I put forecast winds in, and
58, contact me now, 123.75, expect star.
123.75, expect star, velocity 58, cheers.
Velocity 621, you can monitor Unicom 122.8 south. Velocity 357, contact approach 132.0. On upon 2510, reclear direct Ribbit.
Direct Ribbit, only 2510.
And on upon 2510, ready descent, flight level 210.
If that was for all Nippon 2510, could you please repeat your dum-dum?
On upon 2510, ready descent, flight level 210.
Descending flight level 210, all Nippon.
Now, wait for it. Yeah, I know I did. I just did it, Chris.
Melbourne Centre flight Ox 380, safety on the ground at Albury, cancel sandwich.
Yep.
380, Albury Sandwich. G'day.
G'day, thanks for your help tonight, cheers.
Melbourne Centre, velocity 858 with you, 12375.
Velocity 858, Centre G'day, star clearance, Lizzie 9 Alpha arrival, runway 16, 180 descent, flight level 250.
This is 9 Alpha, runway 16, when ready under 250, velocity 858. Now,
437, contact me now,
as people who watch my video,
129.8, Qantas 437.
it's not, does not mean descend now.
28, thanks for the help, resume and nav, briefly direct rivet.
Means
Weekly direct with it, answer 828.
And exit 828, descend 10.
when I get
007.
to top of descent. And,
1000 QNH 1007, answer 828.
and why is that? Oh, how can I turn this guy off?
437 with you, 129.8. Qantas 437, Centre G'day, star clearance, Rupert 3 arrival, runway 34 right, 180 descent, flight level 250. Rupert 3 arrival.
Oh, that's good. I just want to talk about something. Now, why is that important? Because if you descend early, what happens is, and there's my top of descent point, and guess what? Now I start doing now, let me just get myself, because it comes up very quickly. I'll go through my descent preparation. We've checked the weather, arrival brief, we can go through that, runway, we expect runway, blah, blah, blah. We won't run, because if you're flying with another guy, you can do all the arrival brief, but we want to descend to 250, not 240. Forecast, yeah, we've worked the forecast. Set transition, set the QNH. We've done that. Set the descent winds, we've done that. Now we do the fixed page. What we do, it's runway 16, runway 16. And it's shitty weather in Melbourne, so we put a 5-mile ring from runway 16 and we put a 10-mile ring. The reason we 5, if it's VFR conditions or VMC conditions or VFR conditions, you put that distance to 4. Because VFR you can see the runway, but you want to be down, you want to have this at 5 miles if it's IMC conditions. Okay, so we've done that, we've checked the route, nav, set the ILS frequency, what is it again? Let me have a look. I've got another, I could go to my charts, but it's a hassle. So we'll go to Melbourne and we look at the ILS runway. Okay, the ILS at Melbourne is 109.7. So we go to there, 109.7. We do it for both. We do it for both. And inbound course is 160, so put in 160. Oops. And the I forgot to, okay. So we put the decision altitude, which is 640, because Melbourne is 434 feet above, so 640 subtract 434 gives you about 208 feet above the runway, or above the ground. What am I doing? 640 should be. Okay, so we've got the barrow set. Good. So, top of descent's over just over 40 miles. Yeah, don't descend early, because what happens is, if you descend early, you get down to that level altitude, 210, and what happens is you fly level and your speed decreases, so it really makes it hard for the air traffic controller to start sequence if you're flying level flight. So it's much easier to sequence an aircraft going descending and rather than the aircraft just going level flight. So, and it happens all the time in the years that I've been controlling. Yeah, so always try to maintain your profile, and you'll see the profile thing, vertical situation, just by whatever you call it, that if you're going to be on profile or not, but that's, I better bring this guy back up.
216 for 240.
1244 from MDA, contact 310.
Flying flight level 310, 47 Zulu.
Why, Chris, you are on the ball, mate.
Oh, Senator, good evening, Velocity 179.
Right, yes.
9 Senator, g'day, climb flight level 320.
It's, this guy.
Level 320, Velocity 179.
Okay, let's just give me the shits, this bloody. Okay, landing weight, good point. Chris is on the ball. Right, landing weight. Melbourne predicts 2.3. You've got 2.9. There's 0.6, 600 kilos. So you go to initial reference. Your gross weight, 51.8 minus 600. So it's 51.2 is what we should be landing with. Very good, Chris. There you go. Hey? Chris, when are you going to start your stream, mate? So, anyhow, and having said that, Melbourne Approach, I think, is online. So we get ready for him, 132.0. I should fancy me looking up Melbourne Approach. You know how many hours I've done Melbourne Approach? 132.0. I should know all these frequencies like the back of my hand. So 123.75, Eldon Weir, 132. Okay, so we're ready for that. Stay ahead of the aircraft. That's the saying. You've got to stay ahead of the aircraft. What's going to happen next? 123.75, we'll put him back on.
1008, start 544, contact me now, 129.1, expect start. 129.1, just start 544.
Okay.
On upon 2510, contact approach.
Oh, Chris. Hey, Chris, you're too good. You are too good. Flaps 30. There it is. I'll tell you what, I'll just speed.
Start 544, center, g'day, start clearance, Rivet 3 arrival, runway 34 left.
Oh, that's the other. Now, approach speed is VREF plus your headwind.
300 knots until rivet.
How do you calculate? I'm going to mute this guy. Give me the shits. Okay, how do you work out your approach speed? Well, it's VREF plus half the headwind component. Okay, so how do we work that out? Now, having said that, for example, the minimum correction can only be 5 knots. So VREF plus 5 is the minimum. The maximum could only be VREF plus 15 because you can't have more than... so in other words, if you've got a 30 knot headwind, or say 36 knot headwind, half of 36 is 18. So you can't have VREF plus 18. The maximum is only VREF plus 15. So we've got... no, actually, I'm going to use another thing called Virtual AWAS. I'm going to... this is a handy little tool. It's when I'm flying off... Okay, so we runway 16, headwind is 6. So half of 6 is 3, but we said the VREF plus 5 is your minimum. So we're using VREF plus 5. Okay, so that's how you work out your approach speed. So we're going to be going at 130 roughly. Okay, so I hope that sort of half clears that up. Suggest 3. Why is that, Chris? Let me have a look here. Landing en route. We go auto brake 3, import the winner, calculate, and required landing distance 4.6, and you've got 11.9. So I'm trying to work out, will that get us off on, we'll miss golf, I think. With auto brake 3, we'll make golf, I think. That might be a plan, actually. We'll go auto brake 3. Now, there's a fantastic program which, you know, if you, once again, I've always said, you can make flight simming as real or unrealistic as you want. And it's, you know, it depends on how real you want to make it. But this here, and they've got like a free trial. And I think Aviation Chris knows what I'm about to show. It's this thing here, Virtual Performance Tool. And no, I don't. But it's a subscription base. For example, you get €3 per month and you get all this, and then if you want to be really serious virtual, I think most people would get the $3.99. But so that really tells you a whole, well, you can read it here, it tells you a whole lot of things, what you can do, what it gives you, fleet management app. Yeah, so that's if you're really serious about your flight simming. I better put this guy. One, 2, 3, 75, I think he said. Yep. Okay. So I think I'm set. I'm not. Yeah, I know. Okay, that's what I thought. VREF plus 5. Yeah, auto brake. To vacate on golf, auto brake 3 will make it for you, but you'll have to nail it on the touchstone. Well, you know what I reckon. You guys are masochists. You are waiting for me. You guys.
58 by star 9000 Melbourne QNH 1008. Christian 1011.
9000 1011. Velocity 858. Thanks. Yeah, you guys want to see me stuff up my landing. And I tell you what, I am rusty on the landings, I tell you. Oh boy. If this was real, I'd tell you what, some of my landings you would have bought up last week's breakfast. I can tell you now. I can tell you now. I'll start reducing the visibility, not reducing the range here down to 40 now. And once we get close, we'll get down to 10. Now, once we go past flight level 300, and I forgot to make sure my heading bug is aligned up with me track. And we make sure that's on legs. And we don't have any traffic. Now, that's indicates if I'm actually on profile. So the white little stroke here is where we should be, and the purple diamond, the purple diamond is where we should be, the white stroke is where we are, so we should be, we can see from that we're below our profile, okay, and we're 55 feet, 53, 54 feet below our profile, because purple is anything to do with FMC. So the FMC said, at this diamond, you should be on this profile, but we're below, and 40 feet is nothing, by the way. So it's just like here, we should, FMC says where it should be at 9,000, and our speed should be 260, we're doing 258. Oh, that's another thing. How many times have I said, advise indicated airspeed, and they give me Mach number? Well, Mach number is not an indicated airspeed, that's the indicated airspeed there. Because it's very hard to sequence people if you're trying to work out or working on Mach numbers. I like to work on speeds. Okay, don't forget your mins. Yeah, I've got them in now, Chris, 640. ILS, Cat 3 ILS. No, I'm doing Yankee, I think. No, I don't want to do Cat 3. I want to see. I know you guys want to see me stuff this landing up, and I'm quite confident I will, but we'll see. I may surprise myself. I need a lot of practice in there. I think I've nailed everything else. I think I understand all other things happening in the sim, but okay, we've got some guy 20, 40, 1,700 feet below me. Okay. So yeah, so the landings, especially with the weather, and it's now. See, I'm above profile now. See that it tells me I should be there, the purple, but I'm above that purple diamond, so I'm above profile now, 50 feet, 50 odd feet. Okay, now what happens is for you guys just starting out on learning all this stuff, I wish you good luck. I'll tell you what, it's a bit overwhelming trying to work all this stuff out, you know. I know when I first started, I forgot to take the flaps up. Well, actually I did today, forgot to take. But, you know, I flew for about 100 miles before I realised I still had the flaps out and wondering why the speed wasn't going up. You know, there's a lot to remember, but hopefully I've now done about, I don't know, 15 maybe flights. So things now are starting to come a little bit easier, but it is overwhelming. It really is, and that weather looks shit. So anyhow, but you know, I'm actually enjoying it. And I'm on two virtuals, that's one of them. Now, there's only one problem. I forgot to start up the A cars. So here I am, I've got all this done, booked it all, and guess what? I forgot the A cars. So there you go, thanks for coming. But anyhow, this is my profile, and these are the flights. Oh, I've done more than that. Yeah, see, have a look at all these flights that I've done. Now, where was this? There was one of them that was a shocker. Yeah, look at that. 325 feet per minute. That was one of my better ones. Oh, 214, that was okay. That was okay. 207 feet, that was okay too. But there's one the other day I did 400 and something. Poor old, yeah. Anyhow, where are we? We'll actually bring in the range a bit more. And don't forget, passing 10,000 feet, You've got to bring in the QNH. He should tell us, by the way.
Melbourne Centre, UPS 34, leading flight 360.
UPS 34.
Good evening, Melbourne Centre. China 10,000 climb for flight level 240.
China Eastern 429, sending good day, climb flight level 310.
Climb to flight level 2.
Popcorn for the landing. Cat 1, yeah, I know, that's what I'm doing. You know, I could disappoint everyone and put the old Cat 3 and they'll land perfectly, but I mean, who wants to do that? Everyone likes a bit of a show, you know. Crash and burn. Popcorn for the landing. You kill me. Now, don't forget, there's something as well. Icing conditions. 10 degrees or less, going through moisture, and that looks like moisture to me. You've got to put the anti-ice. Yeah, I know, Chris. I beat you. I'm one ahead of you then, mate. See? So I do know something. Now, by the way, I forgot to change this to 10, the angle of bank, but I'll keep it. It has to be after flight level, below flight level 300. You're supposed to change the bank angle to 25 degrees. But anyhow, let's see how we go. We got Lizzie. So
34, decent by star 9000, Mum QNH 1012.
Descend by star 9000, QNH 1012, UPS 34.
Velocity 858, connect, approach 132.02.
132.0. See you later. Thanks for the ATC. Melbourne approach, g'day, velocity 858 on descent to 9,000.
Velocity 858, g'day, stand by, one, break, Cafe 781, contact Melbourne Centre now,
Oh.
3.75.
Yeah, I know.
163.75, g'day, Cafe 781.
Velocity 858, thanks. Information X-ray current, runway 16, expect the ILS approach.
Expect the ILS runway 16, velocity 858, thanks. Very good. So let's see this icing. I'll go. This could get loud, guys, so just watch your ears. Because I don't know, the outside noise is quite loud. Oh shit, I'm going to be going through that. What's the temperature? 13 degrees, I won't need to. It's above 10, so I won't need it. And also what will happen is I'll get a warning as well if it's icing. But it looks pretty good. So 10,000, below 10,000, you've got to need to chuck the landing lights on, runway turn off lights on, bank angle, check that, 25 pressurization, and recall check.
Good evening, departure Korean Air 187 with you, climbing via dorsal seed, currently passing altitude 3000.
Korean Air 187, g'day, you're identified.
You gave,
flight level 240.
and that's another thing. You don't have to give your life's history.
Velocity 858, descend via the star to 5,000.
By the star 5,000, velocity 858. Too easy. This flying's easy. It's a landing that's going to be shit. Here we go. I'm getting nervous already. I'm telling you, I've got sweaty palms. Oh, standard. Ooh. 1011. 1011. Temperature is 17. Don't worry about that. That's good. Passing 10,000. We'll chuck the lights on and do a recall check. I'm flying the 700, by the way, so if you see these lights, the 800's got another two lights. They've got landing and some other lights, can't remember now. Oh, righto, let's turn the landing lights on and the runway turn off lights. Obviously don't worry about taxi. There's the decel point. There's a 10-mile ring there. So at 10 miles, basically, I should have flaps 15. Flaps 5. Okay, and by 5 miles, I should be flaps 15, gear down. Then, as soon as I capture the glide slope, that'll that indicated airspeed up here will come up, and then I'll have full control of the speed of the aircraft. So, like I said, when I first started, I thought, oh God, how am I going to forgot to do this and I forgot to do that, and yeah, it was a bit of a shit fight. But here we go. Request lower.
What's the 858, maintain 250 knots on descent.
250 knots on descent, velocity 858. Well, I'm maintaining 250 knots. There it is there, 250 knots. That's what I'm doing here. Descent, 250. I'm not sure why he would say that instruction, but hey. Hang on, he might have...
What's the 858, descend via the star 3000.
Well, the star 3000, velocity 858. Okay, so that's Belter. That's we'll capture the ILS. Let's have a look at velocity 858. Don't have anyone behind me, and I'm not sure if it's this guy. That'll be interesting. You blokes, you're all waiting for bait with bated breath, aren't you? I know it. I can feel it. It looks... You're all waiting with bated breath. So let's see. What's the temperature? 22 degrees. Don't have to worry about icing, obviously. See that IMS 160? That means the identifier for the... I have got the right ILS, because see that there? IMS. That means you've got the right ILS. That's how you can tell, by the way. Now, people say, when do you put the flaps in, the first stage? You have a look on this, I'm on the descent page. When that NSEG turns to flaps, that's when you put the first flaps out. And then as you approach the 10 miles, you put the second stage of flaps, flaps 5. So that's when you know how to put the flaps in. I tell you what, this is phenomenal. I've got, how many people at the moment? 10. Whoa. Jeez.
What's the 858? Maintain maximum speed until established on... sorry. Correct. Let me start. What's the 858? Thanks for that. From Belter, clear the ILS approach runway 16 and, if possible, maintain highest speed you can until you're on the glide path.
858, we'll clear the ILS runway 16 approach. We'll try to maintain max speed on descent. Now, that's not really good news.
South 526, g'day, you are identified, climb via the SID flight level 240.
Now, flaps 1, because see the flaps come in, so it should be flaps 1, and flaps 5.
Clear in air 187, contact Melbourne Centre now, 123.75.
So we should see that 5 and green. And green light. Okay, we've got flaps 5 and arm the approach. You've got glide speed armed, glide sloped armed, and we're in the soup. So as soon as that GS becomes green, we're on the glide slope, and then we'll see this indicated airspeed. But yeah, he said maintain. Well, I don't know if anybody knows how to. Oh, that's shocking weather. I can't see you.
What's the 858? Contact Melbourne Town now, 120.5. G'day.
120.5, g'day.
All stations, information Yankee current changes visibility 3,000 metres.
Wow, that's crap. We're on Vorlock, and I should have the heading. That's me turning the heading bug. Now I should. Oh shit. Here we go.
Uniform Hotel, runway 27, line up. Line up 27, Uniform Hotel.
Well, I fucked that up. I shouldn't have done that. Anyhow. Melbourne Tower, g'day, velocity 858, established on localizer.
Velocity 858, very good afternoon to you, Melbourne Tower.
And I'm stuffed it all up. Because I'm way off. Have a look at my... Oh, this is terrible.
321 airborne. Qantas 321 departures 132.0, g'day.
Yep, I stuffed it up. Oh, no. Yeah, glide slope. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, okay, very good. Look at this. Oh, we... No, negatives. Big stuff up my head. all my viewers are cacking themselves.
Okay, velocity 858, are you on a missed approach?
Negative, so I don't know what I'm on. Cheers. That's it. That's the moment you've all been waiting for. What a complete stuff up. Anyhow, I told you guys what to do. I know. Flaps, yeah, I know all that. I just got caught up. I was distracted, Chris. Missed approach, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Anyhow, yeah, I know, go around, it would have been a pain in the arse. And not only that, I haven't initiated my, excuse me, my ACARs on the thing, guys. I didn't initiate this. So I had it booked and everything. Yes, I want to quit. I want to quit, all right. Anyhow, I haven't let you down, guys. That was yeah, I know. Anyhow, guys, thanks for tuning in. At least the jokes were half decent. That's the best I can do. So, all right, guys. Hopefully next one will be a lot better. I can only get better. And until next time, cheers. See you later.